What is autism? Autism is basically a disability for your mental, and it hinders you from acting socially with others compared to the rest. And it also hinders you from learning as fast as others do. And in autism, there's an autism spectrum disorder, and these are basically the conditions that come with it. So basically, it can range from having ADD, things like anxiety, depression, or if you're lucky, you can be gifted instead. And my brother got diagnosed with it when he was about 3, so it was in 2002. And this is the statistics of the rise of autism. And in 1975, it was only 1 in 5,000. And in this graph, it goes up to 2009, and it's 1 in 110. And I've looked at it again, and currently it is 1 in 68 in the US. So the amount of cases of autism have increased. And along with the increase, there's been a bigger variety. And the least drastic and high functioning is Asperger's syndrome. And with this one, it's mainly the gifted people that come out of this type of range. And the severe is a lot worse. Basically, for parents, they realize it's kind of hard to see their kids as independent in the future because it's just so difficult for them to try to focus and develop and make improvements on themselves. And one thing with them is differences in learning. And for us, we see things like math, we just see them as equations and numbers and stuff like that. But I saw a video, and one kid, he said, this is how we saw the number 32. And you might say that it's weird, but he's actually very gifted, and he made it into the university at the age of 8. So, yeah. And with this, I looked at a certain blog, and I realized that the way our education system works has changed a lot. And basically what people learned about 25 years ago that they learned in college, we're learning right now in high school. So basically our standards have been raised a lot. And that begins, and I saw that as a relationship with how come the cases of autism have increased, because we have broadened our scale and our definition of what is intelligent or not. And with this, in school becomes separation. You see that in every school, in most schools, the normal kids are learning in honors or prep, but then there's also the people with disabilities that are in special classes, and they're separated from the rest of us. And I use this picture to represent the universe. We're all the rest of them except for Pluto, and they're the ones with Pluto. And basically they're separated, like the scientists have done, because they're different. It has a different orbit, it doesn't act like any of the other planets, so we separate it. But I don't think that's really right. It's your opinion to say if you want to join their orbit instead, or point them out and say that it's not correct and it's something wrong when it really isn't. And as I learned more, I started with the question, how does autism affect our society? But then I realized, could it be the other way around? I've seen that our definition of what's perfect and normal has also changed along with all this. And when I see what people don't tend to realize is that perfection and normality doesn't exist. And this is what we fail to realize. We aim for it, but how do we ever know if we're really there? Because it's not really possible. And with this, I wanted you guys to take an action. since it's going to be summer, you guys are going to be going around places and seeing new people. And if you see someone that has a disability and you see it in them, don't judge them. Just try not to. Try to treat them as equals, because you don't know what they've been through. They're struggling to become better and improve upon themselves. And when someone judges them negatively, you might think they don't understand it, but they do, and it hinders them from really trying. So you can be the one that will support them and help make a difference, or you can be the one that judges them and hinders them from succeeding.